Alright, today we're going to do some vent sexing on ducklings. A couple weeks ago I did a video on sexing adult birds. It's pretty much the same thing, just really small versions and some small details. The first thing that you got to do is you got to make sure you have adequate lighting. That's why we're sitting outside here. It's starting to get a little bit darker because it's the end of the day, but it's still a lot better lighting than inside. Second thing is, if you don't have good eyesight, you're not going to be able to see very good. My eyesight's not that bad, but I still need glasses to accurately vent sex ducklings nowadays. So I'm going to start over here. We got a couple of species. We got, and I did pre-sex these birds just to make it easier for the video. I've got a couple of species here. I got marble teal and some shell ducks, as well as a wood duck here. I got a couple of different ages. You can sex the day-old ducklings, but it gets very difficult from time to time because they're small. So I prefer to sex them at about 2 weeks old, although one of the ducklings I'm going to sex is only a few days old here. So I'm going to start off here with, I'll just start off with this marble teal. This is a female marble teal. Like I said, I already sexed it, and this is a, I think it's like a week old or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to, same technique as adults, I'm going to put it up close to my chest just to give it a little bit of support. And then I hold it in my left hand here, and then I'm going to kind of, again, I can push the tail back just like with an adult. A lot of times they will let out a little bit of crap, and you just clean that out of the way so you can see. Sometimes, I'll show you on the shell ducks. So I'm going to just kind of invert this thing. And there's a lot of crap in it, so we're making progress here. But and we can see like a little spot down there at the bottom, kind of the center of the cloaca, possibly to the left a little bit. That's it's known as the genital eminence or the clitoris in simple terms. So that's a female. It's again, it's hard to see. So here is I think this is like 3 days old. This is a common shell duck. And same thing, some birds you'll find will be really a lot of thick down. So it's sometimes helpful, you know, and a lot of birds, if you flip the tail back with your finger, you'll find the vent. But there's also some birds that have a lot of down on it, and sometimes it helps if you just blow to move the feathers around so you can find the vent. So again, I'm going to hold this bird up close to my body, get it to calm down a little bit. I've never had any birds, I've never killed any birds from vent sexing. Sometimes you will irritate them and they'll be a little bit bloody. Obviously you don't want to be too rough because you could potentially seriously hurt them. The other thing is you could possibly hurt their tailbone, which, you know, they're back here. If you're pressing back this way, we want to go kind of in a downward position on the bird in this direction versus this direction when we're applying pressure to vent sex. So I'm going to hold the bird, and we're going to gently, you just take your time and you gently move everything about. You can see some labia-like material in here, clearly a female. The genital eminence, I can see it, but it's just really faded here. So there's also, I don't think you can see it with the camera, there's a little opening up at the top, right up on this part of the vent, which is toward the tail here. That little opening is known as the bursa fabriceus. That's actually the B cells produced here. So it's an essential component of the immune system. It's actually the same exact function as bone marrow in mammals. you'll see that until probably about 8-9 months, and then that bursa fabricius will close up. So I'm going to grab another duckling. Now, as they get bigger, they get easier. This duckling is, I don't know, pushing 2 weeks old maybe. And they get really, that's why I prefer to sex them at 2 weeks. I mean, if you wait 2 weeks, they're going to be easier to sex. The sex isn't going to change, so you might as well wait 2 weeks. So I'm going to hold the bird, and this should be very easy. This bird should be very easy to sex. And I'm just gently moving it around, and I can see down toward the bottom here, toward my stomach, I can see the genital eminence, or the clitoris, and I can see a little bit of labia-like material, but that's definitely a female. There is no male parts there on that bird. So now we're going to go to males. I'm just going to start in the order that we were just in here, kind of. This is another few days old common shelduck male, and again we're going to hold him, and we're going to gently apply pressure. And if you see, there's like a white tip right there. Looks like a maggot. It's on his left-hand side. There, the penis is always on the left-hand side. Looks like a little maggot. That's his penis. This is a male. Okay, now I'm going to do an older one, which again should be easier. A lot of times they'll crap when you get manipulating their vent. You just got to keep cleaning it off until you can properly see it. All right, see, the penis is actually stuck right out. There's a penis there. Again, it looks like a little white maggot in there. And that's all there is to the males. I'm just going to do one more wood duck to show you. I mean, the penises are all pretty much the same. They're all the same, whether and this works for swans. Are a little bit more difficult because they've got tight sphincters. But you can see this bird here. He's got a little tiny. It's a tinier penis than the shelducks, but that's a penis right there. So another good practice is, because this is and this wood duck is, I don't know, probably 2 weeks old. A good practice here is when you're vent sexing, if you're going to vent sex the birds, which I don't care either way. You know, what the sexes are, quite honestly, till they're older. But a good practice is to, if you're going to vent sex, to toe cut the hind toe on the migratory waterfowl, or pinion if you're going to pinion. And you want to do this before 2 weeks old. Actually, 2 weeks would be the ideal time, because that's going to be the easiest time when you vent sex. And then you can actually pinion according to male or female in some scheme. But the hind toe has to be clipped per U.S. Fish and Wildlife regulations on migratory birds. So that's it for